Can you play the audio or no?
No, Swamiji, I am in my phone, Swamiji.
Okay, okay. So shall we chant on our own?
Yes, Swamiji.
Will one of you lead the chant? Who is most comfortable reading it? Third Valli.
Swamiji, because of lack of current, there is no light here, Swamiji.
Okay.
External.
Anyone who feels comfortable leading the chant? Krishnamurti ji, you're on mute.
I don't have the complete book
Oh,
where I can read.
Can I try?
please do. But can anybody put it up? Who has the complete thing can put it. I'll make you the host. Can you put it on the screen so everybody can read? Who's got this text so we can? Okay, other alternative, we skip the chanting today. We'll straight away go to the prayer. Om Shrutismrutipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavadpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Nama Pranavarthaya Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Divyan should offer to chant. I think it's good to chant, at least in the class. Others can follow from your text. Divyansh, go ahead, beta. Third Valli, first adhyaya.
ऋतं पिबन्तौ सुकृतस्य लोके गुहां
Go on.
गुहां प्रविष्टौ परमे परार्धे छाया तपो ब्रह्मविदो वदन्ति पञ्चाग्नयो ये च त्रिणाचिकेताः यस्सेतुर्जानानामक्षरं ब्रह्म यत्. Okay, so I have to break it.
Yasseturijananam aksharam brahma yatparam abhayam tirtisham titishatam param nachiketa gum tathemahi.
Swamiji,
Atmanam vidhi.
This symbol that is Atman.
The sound is Atmanagum Rathinam Vidhi.
Okay.
Shariragum Rathamevacha.
बुद्धिं तु सारथिं विद्धि मनः प्रग्रहमेव च इन्द्रियाणि हयानाहुः विषयागुंस्तेषु गोचरान् आत्मेन्द्रियमनोयुक्तं भोक्तेत्याहुर्मनीषिणः
यस्त्वविज्ञानवान् भवति युक्तेन मनसा
सा
सदा
सदा
तस्येन्द्रियाण्यवश्यानि
तस्येन्द्रियाण्यवश्यानि
तुष्टाश्वा इव
तुष्टाश्व इव
सारथेः
सारथेः
यस्तु
यस्तु
विज्ञानवान्
विज्ञानवान्
भवति
भवति
युक्तेन
युक्तेन
मनसा
मनसा
सदा
सदा
तस्येन्द्रियाणि
तस्येन्द्रियाणि वश्यानि
यस्तु
सदश्व इव सारथेः
यस्त्वविज्ञानवान् भवति
भवति मनस्कः सदा शुचिः न स तत्पदमाप्नोति संसारं चाधिगच्छति यस्तु विज्ञानवान् भवति समनस्कः सदा शुचिः स तु तत्पदमाप्नोति यस्मात् भूयो न जायते विज्ञानसारथिर्यस्तु मनः
प्रग्रहवान् नरः
प्रग्रहवान् नरः
सोऽध्वनः
सोऽध्वनः
परमाप्नोति तद्विष्णौ
तद्विष्णौ
परमं पदम्
परमं पदम्
इन्द्रियेभ्यः
इन्द्रियेभ्यः
पराः
पराह्यार्थ
अर्थेभ्यश्च परं मनः मनसस्तु परा
मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः
बुद्धेरात्मा
बुद्धेरात्मा
महान् परः
परः महतः
महतः
परमव्यक्तम्
परमव्यक्तम्
अव्यक्तात्
अव्यक्तात्
पुरुषः
पुरुषः
पुरः
परः पुरुषान्
पुरुषान्
परं
परं
किञ्चित् सा
किञ्चित् सा
पार्था सा
पार्थासा
परागतिः
परागतिः
एष
एष
सर्वेषु
सर्वेषु
भूतेषु
भूतेषु गूढोत्मा न प्रकाशते
दृश्यते
दृश्यते
त्वद्ग्रव्यया
त्वग्रया
बुद्धया
बुद्ध्या
सूक्ष्मया
मया
सूक्ष्मदर्शिभिः
सूक्ष्मदर्शिभिः
चेत्त्वां
यच्चेत्त्वां
मनसि
मनसि
प्राज्ञः
मनसि
प्राज्ञः
तद्गच्छेत्तज्ञानात्मनि
राज्ञस्तद्गच्छेज्ञानात्मनि ज्ञानात्मनि
ज्ञानमात्मनि
महति
महति
यच्चेत्तद्गच्छेच्छान्त आत्मनि
उत्तिष्ठ
तिष्ठ
जाग्रत
जाग्रत
गत प्राप्य
प्राप्य
वरान्
वरान्
निबोधत
निबोधत
सुरस्य
सुरस्य धारा
धारानिशिता
निशिता
दुरत्यया
दुर्गया
दुर्गं
दुर्गं
गतस्तत्कवयो वदन्ति
अशब्दमसष्पं रूपम् अव्ययं
अव्ययं तथा रसं
तथारसं
नित्यम्
नित्यमग्नदवच्छर्यत् अनन्तं
अनन्तमनन्तं
महतः
महतः
परं
परं
ध्रुवं
ध्रुवं
निचाय्य
निचाय्य
मृत्युमुखात्
मुखादमुच्यते
मुच्यते नाचिकेतमुपाख्यानम्
ज्ञानं
मृत्युप्रोक्तं
मृत्युप्रोक्तं
सनातनम्
सनातनं सनातनम्
उक्त्वा
श्रुत्वा च
श्रुत्वा च
मेधावी
मेधावी
ब्रह्मलोके महीयते
ब्रह्मलोकमहीयते
य
य
इमं
इमं परमं
परमं
गुह्यं
परमं गुह्यं
श्रावयेद्
श्रावयेत्
ब्रह्मसदि
परं गुह्यं
संसदि
प्रयतश्राद्धकाले
श्राद्धकाले
वा तदा
तदा
संशयाय
नन्त्याय
कल्पते
कल्पते
वा
तदा
तदान्त्याय
नन्त्याय
नान्त्याय
कल्पते
कल्पते
इति
तदान्त्याय
No, that's it.
कल्पत इति
Okay. I hope when we're chanting every class, all of you are joining in the chant on mute. It's good to practice chanting. It will also make, as you chant more at the verses that we've already done, the mantras we've done, you will also recollect what we have discussed in those. So, it's important that this chanting is done regularly. Atmanagum rathinam vidhi.
Atmanagum rathinam vidhi.
Shariragum rathamevatu.
Shariragum
Everybody,
rathamevatu.
please join. Buddhim tu sarathim vidhi.
Buddhim tu
Buddhim tu
sarathim
sarathim
vidhi.
vidhi.
Manapragrahamevacha.
Mana
Mana
pragrahamivacha.
pragrahamivacha.
Indriyani hayanahuhu.
Indriyani
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 hayanahu.
hayanuhu.
Vishayagumsteshu gocharan.
Vishayagumsteshu
Vishayagumsteshu
gocharan.
gocharan.
Atmendriyamano yuktam.
Atmendriyamanuyuktam.
Atmendriyamanoyuktam.
Bhoktetyahurmanishinaha.
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 Shariragum rathamevatu. There is a interesting emphasis on this. Eva. Shariram ratham evacha. Sharira, the body is compared to the ratham in the Drishtanta, Drashtanta comparison. Why is the ratha given as a equivalent in this Drishtanta for the Sharira? The ratha, I wanted to put a picture of ratha, but I think Anand and others have a little problem with their power. Let me see if I can put it up. Just hang on a second. Mhm. One second.
Swamiji, for the time being, like I can show it like this, no? Ratha.
Have you got a picture?
Picture like it's in the Gita, no front.
Yeah, you can do that.
Can you see that? Rath.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can't see the horses.
Horses are not there. Only Rath is there. That's
Just
all.
give me a minute. Just give me a minute.
Only Rath is there.
We'll get this sorted out. We'll get it sorted out.
Can I share my screen, Swamiji?
Yeah, can you project? I want a full ratha with all the horses,
Yeah.
wheels, everything.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have sent you request.
So I'll have to make you the host.
Swamiji, I have made him Swamiji.
Okay. If you got that, can you project it, Dimash?
Can you see it?
Yeah. Okay. This is a ratha which is showing, which has only 2 horses. Normally, ratha is shown as 4 horses. And normally it has a lot of fancy covering, etc. for the yajmana. But it's okay. It serves a purpose. Shariram rathameva cha. Rathameva tu. This entire thing starting from the nose of the horse, the harness, the what do you call it, poke and axle, all of them, the wheel, the vehicle itself, all the trimmings and decorations, everything, the whole thing is called a ratha. It's an assemblage. It's got all these component parts. The equivalent in the sharira, in the body also, we have like that a whole assemblage of parts which are put together to get what we call a sharira, what we call a body. And the other comparison is that when the ratha moves, all parts move together. Similarly, when the sharira moves, everything moves together. Now, the sharira also has, like the ratha, 2 types of parts. One is a functional part, other is a decorative part. If something is missing in the ratha is not complete. This ratha doesn't have too much of decorative part. Normally, it has a roof on top, which is a lot of fancy this thing. There'll be a dhwaja, a flag on that. All that will be there. All those form part of the ratha. Like the body also has all functional parts and non-functional parts. All of them move when the body moves. When a functional part is not there, let us say a finger is missing or a thumb is missing in an accident, there is a problem. Some functions cannot be done because these are all designed to do all the functions that the body is supposed to do. Exactly the same way, the ratha is supposed to do certain functions and the entire ratha must be there. All the functional part of the ratha must be there. We've had stories of where a wheel had come off and then a lot of things happened around that. Entire Ramayana is based on that. So the ratha will not operate if those functions don't operate. What about the non-functional parts, the decorative parts? Even they affect the sharira. See, the sharira has both the thul sharira and the sukshma sharira part. As, for example, the hair is a non-functional part, but it goes with the body when it goes. The trimmings on the ratha, which I wanted to show you in the picture, are non-functional parts. If some trimming falls off, ratha will still operate, but something will get affected. The yajmana sitting in the ratha will be affected. Just like a human being in the sharira, a non-functional hair it goes. And when that goes, the indweller of the Sharira is affected. The mind is affected. One tends to look in the mirror and look and say, my God, what happened? Kitne ghane bhal the mere, and then suddenly I find that I have nothing in my head. Feels very sorry for himself. There is an effect. It may not be a physical effect, but there is an effect on the Sharira, just like in the Ratha. So the Ratha is compared 1-to-1 to the Sharira, and everything that happens in the Ratha involves every part of the Ratha. Everything that happens in the Sharira involves every part of the Sharira, both functional and non-functional parts. This comparison, therefore, Shariragam Ratham Evacha, it is a very clear comparison between the Sharira and the Ratha, between the Drishtanta and the Drashtanta. And it's important to understand how it gets affected. All the parts, horses, axle, wheels, pole and yoke, cockpit, the whole thing, this thing is called a cockpit. The portion which is where the Yajamana sits, it's called a cockpit. The reins, everything. It also has some other control mechanism. The Sarathi carries a whip, perhaps, not to hurt the horses, but to keep them in line. He holds the reins and controls the horses, the direction the horses will go in. Just like the buddhi, buddhim to sarathim buddhi, most important part of the ratha, it's a sarathi. He is the one who's going to take it to where you want to go. He is the one who controls the driver, the engine, in this case, the horses, or in the case of a car, the actual engine. Controls that, speeds it up, slows it down, makes sure it remains on the path. All that he does. If he does not do that, you're not going to get where you want to go. The most critical part of the Sharira, the most critical part of the Ratha, is the buddhi. Buddhi doesn't mean physical buddhi. It is not the grey cells in the buddhi. It is the power of thought, power of decision making. All this is based on, I want to go to such and such place, and to go there, this is the right thing to do. Clear decision making capacity, discriminative capacity. All this we will talk about later mantras. The capacity to absorb with clarity where you want to take the whole Ratha to, and take all the decisions and all the actions required in order to take it to that place. And that control remains with that power, buddhi power. And both sides, to be able, when you, for example, constructing a house, also the same thing happens. There is one very key person there. The Yajamana who wants the house has certain vision of what he wants the house to be like. He wants like this, certain things he has in his mind. But he cannot convey that to the workman. He cannot tell the mason, I wanted something, this is my vision. He can't tell, the mason can't understand. There is somebody in between who controls the mason and who is also able to understand the instructions given by the Yajamana. So he's somebody who's, it's like the JCOs in the army, the junior commissioned officers. They are the ones who actually give the instructions to the foot soldiers. But they have the capacity to do that. They also have the capacity to take the instructions from the generals or the officers. They understand what the officer is trying to say. capture that hill. Okay, broad direction given. How to do that? He'll work with his soldiers. So in many of these places, you'll find that there is one critical element which can understand the instructions, which can also translate that instruction into actionable items which will take you to where you want to go. That is the role of the buddhi. And clearly there are a lot of obstacles on the way, within the ratha and outside the ratha. This also we will see. What prevents the whole thing from happening? So the buddhim to sarathim vidhi. The sarathi who drives the chariot, who takes instructions from the yajamana, the rathan, and who translates it into all the actionable elements and takes it where you want to go. When you say takes it, the whole ratha goes, because that is where the yajamana wants to go. Horses, the ratha itself has no desire to go anywhere. Who has the Shakti? The Jnana Shakti, the Ichha Shakti, and convert that Ichha Shakti into Kriya Shakti through the Buddhi. Only the Yajamana has. Horses have no Shakti, all they want to eat grass. That's it. Ratha is inanimate, there's nothing, no Ichha. So all the three Shaktis come from the Yajamana. At least the two main Shakti, the Jnana Shakti and the Kriya Shakti and the Ichha Shakti. I know this is moksha to be gained, that moksha to be gained, I want to gain the Ichha Shakti. This then is converted into Kriya Shakti by the Buddhi, by controlling all the elements which will make that Ichha Shakti, Ichha happen. This is the imagery that we are talking about. Because within the ratha, within the sharira, there's the other elements, downstream elements if you want, which actually do the pulling of the taking forward the engine in the case of the car, the horses in the case of the ratha. They have to be controlled and given direction where to go. And how fast to go, where to stop, where not to stop. All that the buddhi has to decide. What is the role? What does happen? The senses will take us. Because we have these 5 senses, karmendriyas. They are the ones who are going to take us where we want to go. Jnanendriyas and karmendriyas together. But they have a tendency, they have no independent goal to set, like the horses. They go where the objects which are relevant to that sense are available. They want to satisfy that combination of the sense and sense object. Like the horses, their sense object is grass or food or some kind. So they will go where that is available. They have been controlled and brought in there. What makes them go there? Manas. The same component acting as sankalpa vikalpa, manas. Oh, that grass is nice, looking very green there. How nice it will be to eat that. Go there. But you know that going there will distract you from where you want to go. Same thing the entire Sharira does. The Sharira is moved in a certain direction by the Manas saying, That will be nice to have. It is complicated further by a number of other factors outside of the Sharira. This Manas and Indriya are in the Sharira, part of the Sharira, part of the Ratha. The horses and the reins are part of the Ratha. But there are also outside distractions. And in the case of a Sharira, with a human Manas and Buddhi, there is also other factors like jealousy, greed. All those also pull one in a certain direction. I look at somebody and say, I want to be like him. I want to be rich like him. I want to have a big house like him. All of that will come. All these factors take the Ratha in direction where you don't want to go. So he said, Mana pragraham evacha. So comparison again, that reins which control the senses are the mind. Mind has to be controlled by the buddhi. As we discussed last class, it's not the two different things, there are two different types of actions that can be taken. One is sankalpa vikalpa, one is decision making, nischayatmika, vyavasayatmika buddhi. That characteristic has to be brought to the fore. They say, Indriyani hayan ahuhu. They say that the horses are the Indriyas, equivalent to the Indriyas, all still within the Sharira. But outside the Sharira are the Vishaya, the path. You don't want to go off the path. That path may or may not be what the Indriyas want. Because the Manas says, I like this. But that's not the relevant criteria. So, Indriyani hayan ahuhu. And they, being what they are looking for the Indriya Vishaya. Vishayagum steshu gocharan. Gocharan can be seen as objects of the senses. Nice smell for the nose, sense of smell. Nice sight for the sense of seeing. Nice sound for the sense of hearing. Can also be seen as the path. Gocharan is, in fact, breakdown as Gavaha charanti yasmin iti gochara. Where the path, the direction you want to go in. What will the horses decide to go? Where will the horses decide to go? They will decide to go where there is of interest to them. Because they don't understand the Yajamana's instruction saying, I want moksha. But they understand the control that the buddhi exercises, the Sarathi exercises. So Sarathi breaks that big goal down to goals which they can be dealt with by the gochara, by the senses, and controls them so that they go in the direction and not lose time or go in wrong directions. Indriyani hayan ahu vishayagum steshu gocharan. And in all this, there's a karta bhokta. Who is the karta bhokta? Who is the one who is all the karma that is being done? Karma is being done by who? And who therefore reaps the benefit of the karma, the phala of the karma? If we say that Atma, we can leave out. Atma does nothing. It's akarta. What is being discussed is what is called Jivatma, the Atma which is visible in the Sukshma Sharira. Now that Atma also cannot do anything. It's not a karta. Atma cannot do anything. At the same time, all of the upadhis that are there, mana, indriya, buddhi, etc., ityadi, they also can't do anything. Because they are by themselves jada. They can't do it. They can never be the karta. So what is the karta? Who is the karta? And therefore, who is the bhokta? This is what is called, there is a word in one prakarana that is used, but anvaya vyatireka. It is and it is not. Which is the karta bhokta? By itself, the Atma is not a karta, neither a bhokta. But by itself, the upadhis are neither karta bhokta. But because these two are inextricably together, like the mirror and the image in the mirror, you can never take out the mirror image unless you take out the original. And in this case, the Atma can never be taken out because everything is the Atma. So the reflected Atma, again, for want of a better expression, and all the upadhis whose characteristics we apply on this Atma, together with them, they become the karta bhokta. And therefore, it looks like the Atma is the karta bhokta. Atma is not the karta bhokta. It is this combination of Atma and the upadhis. Now you think about it very carefully. We are saying that Atma is a reflection. It's a non-existent thing. Reflection has no reality. Does your image have any reality? Does your reflection, when you're walking down, there's sun beating, and then there's a reflection on the ground. It keeps growing bigger and smaller depending upon where you are. Is that real? It's not. Nor is it unreal. It is there. You can see it. So where is this reality of everything here? Everything is anatma. And we think, since we are seeing a live sharira, being live, being active, enlivened by the reflected Atma, we say that the Atma is the doer, Atma is the enjoyer. And immediately all the limitations come on top of that. You can imagine this. Atma, for want of, again, better expression, the original Atma, the only Atma, is clearly a non-doer. The reflection Atma cannot be a doer. Upadhis are jada. They can do nothing. And yet so many things are getting done as though that so many things that are being done is our Maya. So he says, Atmendriya Mano Yuktam, that combination of Atma and Indriya Mana, etc., Atmendriya Manoyuktam Bhokta iti ahuhu Manishinaha. That is the Bhokta. Bhokta means also Karta. This Atma Indriya Manayuktam is the Bhokta. Amazing. The Bashyam, when we read, we will see how Acharya brings it out. Let's read the Bashyam. Can somebody put up the Bashyam? Who is there? Anand, are you in a position to put up the Bashyam? Otherwise, we'll just read. Very good.
Can you see, Swamiji?
Yeah, everybody can see, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Indriyani
Indriyani.
Chakshuradini Hayan Ahuhu. Let's stop it there. Indriyani Chakshuradini
Indriyani
Indriyani
Chakshuradini.
Chakshuradini.
Indriyas. Chakshuhu Adini. Adini implies starting with the chakshu with eyes, all the indriyas. Indriyani, chakshu, and all the senses. That's very clear. In fact, Acharya didn't even have to say indriyani means indriyani. Hayanahuhu.
Hayanahuhu.
Who says Hayan? Who compares this? Who says this is the indriyani can be compared to the horses? He has a nice expression for it. Ratha Kalpana Kushalaha. See, because here one word is used, Manishinaha. Acharya says, who compares the horses to the senses? Ratha Kalpana Kushalaha. Ones who can explain this Drishtanta and compare to the Drashtanta. And therefore, Ratha Kalpana, it's only an imagery, Kushalaha, experts in that, who understand or are able to explain this to us. Because Sharira Ratha Karshana Samanyat, Sharira Ratha Karshana Samanyat.
Sharira Ratha Karshan
Samanyat.
Samanyat.
In both cases, what pulls it along? The horses in the case of the Ratha, the senses in the case of the Sharira, or if we take other examples, the engine in the case of the car, etc., which actually gives the motive power. Therefore, it's a Sharira Ratha Akarshana Samanyat. That is the ability to pull the Ratha and the Sharira. Therefore, they are called, the equivalence is made. Teshu eva.
Eva.
Teshu is taken from the mantra. Vishayagums Teshu Gocharan. Yeah. Teshu eva.
Eva. Indriyeshu.
Indriyeshu Hayatvena.
Parikalpiteshu.
Kalpiteshu.
Teshu itself is explaining what Teshu of the Indriyas. Indriyeshu. Indriyas are haya, the horses. Hayatvena parikalpiteshu. In the example, what is the teshu in them? What of them? Gocharan,
Charan.
Margan, Rupadin, Vishayan, Vidhi.
Vishayan Vidhi.
So he says, that Gocharan means Margan. I told you, Gavaha Charanti Yasmin. Therefore, the Marga, Rupadin, Rupa Adin. What are the objects of these senses? Chakshuhu is a Chakshu Adi earlier, Rupa Adi. This objects of each of these senses, they are the Vishaya. The Vishaya of the Indriyas, Indriya Vishaya. Know them to be the Indriya Vishaya. So, Teshu Vishayagum Gocharan. Oh, okay. And then they go to the next line. Atmendriya Mano Yuktam.
Atmendriya
Atmendriya
Manoyuktam.
Atma Indriya Manaha Yuktam. That combination, Atma in combination with Manas and Indriyas. Sharirendriya Manobhihi.
Sharirendriya
Manobihi
Sharirendriya Manobhihi Sahitam.
Sharirendriya Manobihi
Sahitam.
Samyuktam
Samyuktam.
Atmanam
Atmanam.
Bhokta iti.
Bhokta
Bhokta
That combination Sharira Indriya Manobhihi of the combination Sahitam Atmanam Samyuktam. The Atma combined with all of these Sharira, Indriya, Mano, etc., Manaha, etc., that Samyuktam of the Atma, Bhokta iti.
Bhokta iti.
That combination is the Bhokta. Bhokta means what? Samsari iti.
Samsari iti.
Ahuhu.
Ahuhu
Manishinaha.
Manishinaha.
Vivekinaha.
Vivekinaha.
Who says that? Who says that? How do you understand samsari? The only bhokta, and the bhokta is this combination of Atma with all the other things. That bhokta, that combination is the samsari. Iti says who? Manishinaha ahuhu. And that Manishinaha, he says Vivekinaha. Ones who understand the truth, who have clarity of understanding. They say that this is the Bhokta, this is the Karta, this is the Samsari. And if we can, we always said this reflecting surface and the reflection in that, they cannot be separated. They can only be in understanding separated, cognitively separated. The ones who are able to separate this and see this whole thing as jada and that as a reflection, not even as original, they are the Viveki. Because they're able to see Atma and all these as Anatma. This is the Anvaya Vatireka I told you. Nahi kevalasya
Nahi kevalasya.
Atmanaha
Atmanaha
Bhoktrutvam asti.
Bhoktrutvam asti.
Bhokta, he said, is a combination. And if only consider the Atma, Kevala Atma means that only Atma if we take, Bhoktrutvam nasti. Bhoktrutvam nasti. Doesn't have any Bhoktrutvam. And like I said, the Upadhis also don't have Bhoktrutvam. It is only the combination that can have Bhoktrutvam. Buddhyadi Upadhi.
Buddhyadi upadi.
Kritameva.
Kritameva.
Tasya Bhoktrutvam.
Tasya
Tasya
bhoktrutvam.
Bhoktrutvam.
That Tasya here is Atmanaha. Atma by itself, Kevalam Atmanaha, Bhoktrutvam Nasti. But in combination, Buddhyadi Upadhi Kritameva. Because of the presence of the Buddhi Adi, Upadhi, they're all Upadhi. Tasya Bhoktrutvam, we see Bhoktrutvam. We see Bhoktrutvam of the Atma. We don't even understand the Atma. We only see that something is enlivening this Jada Vastu, Sharira, Manas, Buddhi, Ityadi. And we say that is the bhokta. No, that is not the bhokta. It is only because buddhyadi upadi kritam bhoktritvam. Tasya bhoktritvam comes only from buddhi adi upadhi kritam. That is why Shastra so frequently talks about everything as though, eva. Any action that is taking place is as though. Any thinking that is taking place is as though. There is no thinking, there is no action as far as the Atma is concerned. So he quotes from the Kathopanishad in a discussion between Janaka and Yajnavalkya in Kathopanishad, this conversation which is there. Tatha cha
तथा च
Shrutyantaram
श्रुत्यन्तरम्
Kevalasya
केवलस्य
Bhoktameva darshayati.
भोक्तृमेव दर्शयति
Abhoktrameva, not Bhoktrameva, Abhoktrameva.
अभोक्तृमेव
Kevalasya Abhoktrutvam. Kevalam here means Atma. Shrutyantaram. Shruti also has in it this, shows the Abhoktrutvam of the Atma by emphasizing the word Iva. So he quotes from there. Tatha cha Shrutyantaram Kevalasya Abhoktrutvam eva darshayati. Abhoktrutvam is shown. How? Dhyayati iva,
ध्यायति इव
Lelayati iva,
लेलायति इव
Yadi,
इत्यादि
as though the Atma is into Dhyanam, Dhyayati, or as movement, Lelayati, Iva, as though Iva, Dhyayati iva, Lelayati iva, Ityadi. Or Shruti also emphasizes this by saying Iva, Iva, Iva. Anything you see, if you attach Iva, that becomes clear. Evancha sati
सति
Akshyamana Rathakalpanaya
रथकल्पनया
Vaishnavasya Padasya
वैष्णवस्य पदस्य
Atmataya Pratipattihi
आत्मतया प्रतिपत्तिः
Upadhyate.
उपपद्यते
What is the result of this understanding? By using this Kathakalpana, by using this imagery, understanding the role of all elements in there, if it works well, the Ratha will go to where you want it to go. The Sharira and all in the Sharira will go to where you want it to go. You want to gain moksha. If the Ratha Kalpana is clear, moksha is what you can gain. And what is moksha? Acharya defines moksha as Vaishnavasya Padasya Pratipati, the reaching of, using this Vakshyamana Ratha Kalpanaya. This being so, we understand this whole Ratha and the comparison with the Sharira and all the elements of that. If you want the Ratha to go to a particular place, it will go to that place, provided the Rathin knows where he wants to go. He is able to give the right instructions to the Sarathi. The Sarathi is able to control the other senses and all the other elements so that they go in the right direction. That is appropriate. Atmataya pratipattihi upapadhyate. It is correct, it is possible to know Atma. Atmataya pratipattihi upapadhyate. Therefore, this Ratha Kalpana gives us a wonderful method for gaining moksha jnanam. Not only that, he says, na anyatha
न अन्यथा
स्वभाव anatikramat.
Swabhava
Swabhava
anatikramat.
So
anatikramat.
that is the nature of the Atma. No other method. Anya pantha vidyate ayanaya. Only one way to know. And Ratha Kalpana is a wonderful instrument in that process of knowing. Because you can identify with the Ratha, I can identify with the car, or identify with a boat which is drifting in the sea. Same analogy. Which then helps us look at ourselves. Yeah, that's another good picture. Look at ourselves and say, okay, this is what is happening to me. This is where I want to go. Is my buddhi gaining the correct instructions, understanding the correct instruction? Is the buddhi able to control the manas and the indriya? Does the buddhi know where to go, how to go, how fast to go, how not to get distracted? That is the training of the buddhi. We can see that. If you have a good sarathi, he'll take you. If you have a good driver in the car, he'll take you. If the driver is drunk, there's no way you're going to take you where you want to go. He's going to create an accident for you. It's the same analogy, you know. That is our buddhi. That is the power of thought. That's the power of discrimination. That's the power of understanding. This Atma Jnana, Moksha Jnana is nothing but understanding. And that has to happen only by training the buddhi to understand. And what if I don't? What are the possible pitfalls in this? Next 3 or 4 verses, 4 verses or more, we'll talk about those, which we'll look at tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha Hari Om.